What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chicago Couch Scouts. A lot has happened since we last recorded, so we have a lot to talk about today. Just gonna jump right into it. Since we last recorded, Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants. This came as a shock to both of us, as Boston didn't even look to ship him, didn't even look to evaluate different teams' packages they could put together. They acquired Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, James Tibbs, who was their first round pick last year, and Jose Bayo, a right-handed pitching prospect. I thought this was very underwhelming as a return for Devers, who, in my opinion, is probably a top 15 hitter in baseball, which is being conservative, I feel like. Obviously, they gave him that very large contract. I think it was last year, but so they're getting out of that that money they committed to Devers. But I still feel like the return was underwhelming, and I was confused why they did it so early. The relationship kind of was tarnished at this point. It was kind of since the start of the season with them switching around Devers' position. But yeah, very underwhelmed with the return. This came as a big shock to me, especially you don't see guys like Rafael Devers getting traded in June.
Yeah, for me, I think there was kind of rumors all year that Devers was unhappy and this and that, and that Breslow might look to move him. But for it to happen in the middle of the night, so to say, for the return that it was a little shocking. I agree that it was a little underwhelming. It makes sense with the money attached to Devers, but I feel like that's why you don't trade a guy that you extend for 10 years and 300 million, because the return's not going to be equal, and it basically becomes a salary dump, and you just take whatever assets you can get.
Yeah.
And Harrison and Tibbs are good assets. It's just I would have kept Rafael Devers. I don't get it. I think position values kind of become overrated in baseball a little bit. You need really good hitters in your lineup, and Rafael Devers is one of the 20 best in the world. I like Buster Posey a lot in San Francisco. I think there's a fine line between being old school and not embracing analytics and the new technology that we have in sports and stuff like that. But Posey seems like a no-nonsense, I'm going to go get star players kind of guy, and, we're going to figure out the rest. And, I like that, because then you can go get Rafael Devers for two guys that aren't going to hurt you, and, their owner will pay for it. Now they're in a way better spot. So
yeah, two pitchers that were underperforming for your major league team, your former first-round pick who was playing all right in the minors, and then
they could work up the middle in the farm. They could draft shortstops and sign up the middle guys in international free agency and build up the farm that way. But now you got Rafael Devers in your lineup for 10 years, so you can't go wrong.
But yeah, I know a lot of Red Sox fans are making the argument that this opened up the lineup for all their rookies that were coming out, which I thought was kind of a dumb argument, considering Devers was only playing. He was mostly DHing. I don't think he's played a game at first this whole year, so very confusing to me. I guess they were just so eager to get him out of there because of the relationship being strained, but at the very least, I would have shopped them around a little bit. I know, the Cubs probably would have been interested. Some, teams like that. Probably, the Dodgers would have been interested.
Yeah,
Padres.
People compared it to, the Doncic trade, and, it's definitely not in terms of, how important it was and how shocking and things like that, but the, not shopping him around the league part and just, dealing with one team, that part of it was similar, for sure.
Yeah, but I think that was a great pickup for the Giants. Obviously, they're overperforming both our expectations and from the preseason. They're in a tough division, so they're going to need all the talent.
They're building a contender by buying players, and it's working. And their farm's not great, but now their good prospects are coming up. So it seems like they're going to be pretty good for a while. I know West is pretty scary. Poor Rockies, huh?
Yeah, and probably three of the best teams in the National League, all coming from the same division. But yeah,
too. They're just having rough luck this year. I'm a
bad injury luck for sure. And then Carroll's out he just fractured his hand or something. So yeah,
tough injury. At least he's not day to day on fantasy anymore. That's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So kind of the big MLB news that's happened. kind of shifting to the NBA now, which has been just winded down the other night. The Thunder are your NBA champions. They win in 7 games. So congratulations to them. As much as we both wanted to see Indiana win, Halliburton goes down after 7 minutes of play, torn right Achilles. So very tough for him. He was having a great start to the game, 3 for 5 from three at 9 points. Actually finished as the leading 3-point makes for the Pacers. So kind of shows you how the game went. But I mean, going into the half with the lead, I had high expectations for them coming into the second half, and it seemed like the second half of the third quarter, like the last 6-7 minutes of the third quarter, they just fell apart. And OKC, their defense took over. Casey Wallace and I almost said Anthony Caruso. Casey Wallace and Alex Caruso
Shout
were
out.
Casey Wallace and Alex Caruso were just picking up steals left and right, pressuring TJ McConnell, and yeah, it just went downhill from there. Shea is your Finals MVP, so he completes this like
Pressuring is one way to say hacking the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Shea completes this like almost like a triple crown of MVPs. And yeah, pretty successful season for the Thunder and SGA. And their future is only looking brighter with all the picks. And I think Topic, he's going to be playing next year. So they have a lot of guys, still a lot of young guys. So they're going to be good for a while. But yeah, kind of just want to talk Halliburton, how his torn Achilles affects not only the Pacers, but the Eastern Conference next year. I think, yeah.
Yeah, like, it was really disappointing. I thought they were going to win that game. I think they would have won that game if he didn't get hurt. They're probably going to be a non-factor next year with him being out. Same with the Celtics. So, like, the East next year, it's like the Cavs, Orlando.
Knicks, the Detroit.
The Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks are probably the big contender. Detroit, if they could take a leap. And then, like, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami.
Atlanta, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Atlanta doing something. They got a pretty good team if they could take a leap.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey took them to the Eastern Conference Finals the one year, so like I could see this roster making a run like that in this East.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the rest of the teams in the East are pretty fucking bad. Like
yeah, the East is gonna be
Bulls, Raptors, directionless. Wizards are terrible.
Heat
are pretty directionless, but like they'll probably be like the 8 seed.
Yeah.
Free Bam. Who else is in the East? The Nets are terrible.
Yeah, the Nets. I'm trying to think who's picking in the draft. The Sixers should be better. The Hornets are bad.
Yeah,
the Wizards are bad.
Fine. The Sixers actually might be a sleeper. Like if Embiid's like healthy in himself, like
yeah,
Maxey, Grimes, Edgecombe, Embiid, McCain, like that's not pretty good. But Embiid being himself is like a huge question at this point with all like the foot injuries and shit.
Yeah,
he's like in his 30s, so
yeah, the East is bad. The Nets have so many picks. They have like 5 first-round picks now or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like this has happened before where the Nets have like a million picks in the 20s. They're just gonna draft like 10 terrible small forwards.
But yeah,
Shout out Derek Whitehead.
Derek Whitehead was gonna be such a bucket. He was so good in high school. But yeah, I mean, the West is gonna continue to be loaded, and the East is probably just gonna be, like we said, those top 3 teams: Knicks, Cavs, Magic. I would imagine are the top 3 seeds. Yeah, the East is gonna be a cakewalk for whoever just steps up above the rest. It's gonna be, I would imagine, either the Cavs or the Knicks come out of it.
I feel like someone's got to make a move, or it's just gonna be the Knicks or Orlando. Because like I feel like Orlando's pretty underrated. Like I think they're like in that top tier with Bane. Like that lineup's really good, except for the 5-man. Like Suggs, Bane, Paulo, and Franz. Like that's pretty legit. Like I'll take that over Cleveland's 4 for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if Paulo and
maybe the Knicks too. Like I don't know, it's close. The Knicks have more depth.
I think I mean I feel like
that one in the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like with Paulo and Franz, if they continue to take these leaps, they're gonna have like the star power factor over both of those teams, the Cavs and the Knicks. Like, I mean, like Brunson's probably the best of Brunson and Donovan Mitchell are probably the best of the bunch, but I think Paolo is like if he takes like one more leap, like I think he will be like a top 10 player in the league.
We should
So
do that next episode, projecting the All-Star teams. The East team's going to be
yeah,
like 3 Orlando players, 2 Knicks, 3 Cavs, maybe 4 Cavs.
Kobe
Like
White.
Kobe White averaging 21 points a game. Fucking RJ Barrett on the Raptors. Like, ridiculous. Oh, he might be
He
heading
get
to
traded.
Portland. You see that
I saw
direction?
Brooklyn too.
What would they even give up? Like DeAndre Ayton for fucking RJ Barrett? Is that what's gonna happen?
Maybe that would be like a 1-for-1 swap. Give
Because
them both in different.
Klingon needs to play. Aiton's just
Yeah,
rotting.
I like honestly forgot about Klingon. Like I was looking at their lineup today and like I totally forgot he's on
If
their
Portland
team.
like just keeps like I feel like that Simon's trade was good because like Drew could play with the young guys and like it
Yeah,
frees up time. Like they could just go Scoot, Drew, Shaden Sharp.
yeah.
Like they gotta
I
get
talked
Aiton
about it
out
on
of
the
there so
TikTok.
Klingon can play.
I talked about it on the TikTok. Like I think they could be like a sneaky play-in team next year if Drew stays there. If they don't trade
Yeah,
him.
like they might not be off. Like they're still probably directionless because like I don't think they have the star power to really get that much better. But like
Yeah, it's like if Scoot or Shane Sharp take like a leap and become like a
yeah.
star.
Their best case scenario is probably like losing the play in and like getting lottery luck and getting
Yeah,
fucking what's
yeah.
his name from Camp
Uh,
Peterson.
Peterson, yeah, or Debanza, either one of them, or Boozer.
Dude, they're rigging the
Um,
lottery so Debanza goes to Utah. That's been a
probably,
done deal for 3 years.
probably. I'll take Boozer or Peterson on the Bulls. But yeah, so Thunder are your NBA champions. You know, not my favorite team to watch, but they probably were the best team all season, so deserved in some aspects, but we'll move on. On the day of game 7, I believe KD was traded. We kind of talked about it on our TikTok, but traded to Houston for Jalen Green, the 10th pick, Dylan Brooks, and 5 second-round picks. Um, I feel like it's pretty good value for KD. Like, he's a 37-year-old. He's for Houston. He's going to be probably their number one scorer. He's still an efficient, like, bucket getter, and that's what they desperately needed. Like, you could clearly tell in the playoffs they needed someone just to like give the ball to and go get a bucket. That can't be Jalen Green or Fred VanVleet. But for Phoenix, I mean, you're getting the 10th pick, which is valuable. Jalen Green, I mean, he's still 22, 23 years old. Like, he's probably still a question mark. And then Dylan Brooks is probably someone you hope you can flip. It's just the contract's probably going to be tough to flip. But all their money is tied up in the wings now. Like, they have no money, and they all have, like, 2 and 3, like, in the lineup. Like, they have nothing else, I feel like.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking whatever center gets the fucking pick 10.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be, like, Queen or,
I feel like Queen is like a terrible fit on that team though.
yeah.
Like
He's probably
like
more of
the
a
guy
4,
that you
honestly.
probably want to like give him the ball and let him work like a little bit like
Yeah,
Bam. But
yeah.
like in Phoenix with all those fucking ball dominant guards, like I
It's
don't know.
probably, like, they're probably praying Malawak falls to him. Yeah, I think his floor is probably 9 to Toronto. But,
I feel like he should
um,
go higher than that, but it seems like he's
I,
slipping lately.
yeah,
Some of these
the
guards are cheap.
riser, the riser is, what's his name? I think he's French. Uh,
Sonye or whatever.
nah, he's a big man. Behringer, maybe is his name. I can't find him on this website. But yeah, he's one of the risers recently. I know you. Oh yeah, Joan Behringer, I think is his name.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but he might be lottery now. That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, so KD, I think this is a big trade for Houston. I think they're definitely one of the main contenders in the West now, especially with all the defense surrounding KD.
They
We
still have
kind
so
of
many assets. Like I feel like this is
yeah.
like the type of move we were waiting for OKC to make for years, and they just never did
Mhm.
it. Just like draft
Mhm.
everyone.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about it on TikTok as well. Like this like Giannis is still an option here. Jalen Brown has been in trade rumors. Like he's an option here. I've seen Bam in trade rumors. Like I think that would be interesting as well. Like
Yeah,
him next to
Bam or
Sengun.
Jalen Brown is probably the ideal.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson,
Would
another
would
guy.
they have to swap Şengün for Bam though? Like, is that what would?
Yeah, they probably would. I would
I
imagine.
feel like
That's
that would be good for Houston, but like, would Miami want to do that? And like, would Houston give them like three, four firsts on top? Like, that's I don't know.
yeah.
And like,
I
I
mean,
feel
like
like Miami might want like a
Shepard or
worse player
something.
and five firsts for Bam instead of Şengün and two or whatever it would be.
Maybe. I mean, like the first round
Like,
picks, they still have valuable first round picks. Like the
yeah, like they don't have like shit picks like how OKC has had. Like
yeah,
OKC's best picks they've acquired have been like 10 or whatever.
yeah.
Like this, they have like the Nets swap in 27. That should be a good pick. They have Phoenix picks, and Phoenix is gonna
Mhm.
be terrible.
Mhm.
Um,
We'll see.
I
That's
think that's it. They might maybe they have a Utah pick too.
they might. That sounds vaguely familiar, but
No, like they have valuable picks. But yeah, I hope they get Jaylen Brown. That'd be nice. But I don't know if Boston's gonna do that because they're under the apron now or whatever.
yeah. I didn't. The aprons confused me when doing the trade like projections and stuff like that. But I have to look more into that. But NBA trades have been popping off, especially today, as we kind of mentioned them a little earlier when we were talking about the East. But the Celtics are retooling as they trade Drew Holiday away for Anthony Simons and a second round pick, I believe. And they also trade away Kristaps Porzingis to Atlanta, another team we mentioned as a potential sleeper in a three-team deal with the Nets. Terrence Mann in 22 went to the Nets, and then the Celtics got Niang and a second rounder. So I mean, I think those are. I mean, like I get it. I get what they're trying to do because like they had to cut cap. They're just
Yeah,
not.
like at first I was like, what are they doing? But then I saw that they saved $200 million by doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
But like the Drew deal, it's fine. Like I think Simons is terrible, but like, all right, you got rid of the money. Pritchard steps in. You got Pritchard and White next year. Like that's fine.
yeah, yeah,
But the Kristaps deal, like I don't understand it at all. Like how did the Nets get a first round pick for taking on Terrence Mann, but
yeah.
like you're getting Niang in a second for
So
Porzingis?
did the Nets just give up a second round pick? Like or
I think they're getting the first for taking on the man contract, but
yeah, but
is he even
they
making money? I thought he was making like 10 million a year or something.
I that sounds right.
And
Unless he
that's like
just got a
nothing
new
in this
contract.
this NBA. Like these role players are making 18, 20 million.
I don't think he got a new contract, but let me see. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they only gave up a second round pick just to take on man and get that first round pick, which I mean we talked
Yeah, I
about
didn't
it a second.
understand that part.
I mean we talked about it a second ago. They have 5 first round picks now. So no he's like almost a $16 million cap hit. 3 year, $46 million contract. Which
Who do
I
you
mean,
think could like trade like would benefit from trading down with Brooklyn at 8? I'm
maybe
thinking like Utah needs players, but they probably
yeah,
wouldn't want to trade out of like a point guard. Like they
yeah.
have
I
a
mean,
million guards, but like they probably want like a real option at point guard.
who would trade down? Maybe Philly.
Well,
I could see
I don't know
Philly
if
trading
Philly would want to do it
if they
because Philly
get
doesn't
like.
need players like that.
I feel like they need depth though. I mean, if they're not like locked, I mean, it seems like they're locked in on an Edgecombe, but I feel like they need depth. Like especially maybe if they could like maybe Brooklyn could take on Paul George's contract and they could get off that contract by
Yeah,
trading
that's
down.
that's been the thing that people have been saying, like the Paul
Hmm.
George thing. That would make sense if they really wanted to get out of the Paul George deal. Like I could see that, but I feel
Hmm.
like I don't know if I would do that though, because like I feel like I like when we were talking about the Sixers, I totally forgot about Paul George too. Like if he bounces
Hmm.
back at all, like that's another player too.
Yeah,
If
that's
I'm
true.
them, I would just take Edgecombe and see what happens. Like they might fucking win the East if Embiid's like 80%
Semi
or
healthy. Yeah,
yeah.
if they could just load manage them, then they probably
Like they got a
walk for.
ton of shooting. Edgecombe comes in as intensity. Like if their defense
Hmm.
is brutal, like they're gonna be pretty good. Like they're gonna
Yeah,
score. That's for sure.
yeah.
With or
We'll.
without Embiid, that team's gonna score. But
Yeah,
it's just like, can they guard anybody? But I feel like Edgecombe helps he's gonna be
yeah.
intense.
I mean, even if Paul George is like close to 100%, like I feel like he adds some defensive ability as well. But I mean,
Yeah,
nothing
like, I don't
compared to
know. He
what.
was brutal last year, but there has to be something
Yeah,
going on there. Like it's Paul
yeah.
George.
He
Like
had to have been playing somewhat hurt in like some
I feel,
capacity.
and I feel like Paul George isn't like that type of superstar where he just ages into being like terrible. Like I feel like Paul George is
Yeah,
like the perfect type of superstar that could become like a spot up 3 and D guy.
yeah. Like the way his game,
Like maybe he's not
yeah.
gonna be like the ISO fucking aesthetic Paul George that all the kids loved back in the day. But
Uh huh.
he's definitely got the skill set to guard and shoot threes.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's confusing, but I mean, like
Maybe
going back to
Washington. Washington needs players bad.
yeah, but they also need a point guard, and I think they're in a prime
Who picked
fears.
7? New Orleans. New Orleans just got Poole though, so they have like Murray, Poole. Like would New Orleans take another point guard?
Probably not, but I mean, we could talk about that trade a little bit as well. Another thing that happened today. So CJ McCollum's going to the Wizards, as well as Kelly Olynyk, I believe, and a future second for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the 40th pick. I actually kind of like this for the Pelicans. Like I feel like the Wizards. I think it's like a small win, like low risk, high potential for both teams. Because like I feel like the Wizards have a lot of young players that like showcased a lot last season, and having a locker room of C.J. McCollum, Chris Middleton, like those are like veteran leadership guys that could like that have won in some capacity. Like Chris Middleton has a ring. CJ McCollum's been in a ton of playoff games. Like I feel like they're building potentially something. Like they have another. They're gonna add another talented rookie this year. Maybe it's Jeremiah Fears, but like I kind of like it in that aspect. Like I don't think CJ
I
McCollum's
mostly
any.
just see it as them like taking on bad contracts, but I like the leadership aspect is definitely real. I don't think it's
Yeah,
gonna make them win any games anytime
yeah,
soon.
yeah, yeah. It's just
For
like
the young guys' development, like those guys being around, as
yeah,
long as they're not playing 35 minutes a game, it should
exactly.
help.
Yeah, just like building a culture, like some sort of winning culture. Because like, I mean, when was the last time the Wizards haven't been relevant since like 2014? Like John Wall and Bradley Beal, like
Like,
those teams.
yeah, the last time they were good was like 2017 when John Wall was going nuts, and then they lost to the Celtics, and then
Yeah,
he started getting hurt right after that. So,
yeah. So like, it's been a while since they've been good. I think adding these like Kelly Olynyk's another guy. Like he's not a very talented basketball player, but he's been on a lot of winning basketball teams. So like he knows.
Kelly
Like
Olynyk,
this,
12, 13 years in the league now, dude. How about that?
that's crazy. I mean, I think this is Booker's like seeing Devin Booker being in the league for 11 years. Like this is his 11th season coming up. That shook me to my core. Like that was
That's what I was
pretty.
saying. I was like, dude, like I think about like usually these guys are like 6, 7 years in when they ask
Yeah.
out. Like LeBron left after 7 years or whatever.
Mhm.
Booker's it's been 10 years. Like if he's gonna
Mhm.
leave, like it's gonna be now or else he's gonna stay there for the rest of his career.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Like this is like the same amount of time that it took for Dame to leave. And like it
huh.
felt like Dame was
Yeah,
rotting in Portland for a while.
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess like the finals appearance for Booker kind of makes it seem like it hasn't been that bad, but I mean they weren't close to winning that finals. I feel like the Bucks just kind of dominated them.
I mean, they
But
were up 2-0, then they just kind of crumbled. CP
yeah,
zero rings. That's
um,
dude.
but
He's got a ring chase. Like
yeah, I mean I saw him. I saw like potentially going back to the Thunder. Like I saw that as an option. Like
that'd be
that would
cool.
be
Him and SGA are close. I heard.
yeah.
There's like
Um,
some article or
yeah,
something.
because he was like second year SGA was on that team with Chris Paul and stuff. But
Dallas
on the
makes
flip,
sense too. But until Kyrie gets back, that'd be nice.
yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. So on the flip side of this deal, though, Pelicans getting Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey. Um, I mean, obviously Jordan Poole, like at the top of his game, is a very good scorer. Like he adds an interesting element to this lineup. Again, like New Orleans is gonna also add a interesting young prospect here. I don't know who it's gonna be. I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit when we go through our mock draft. But Sadiq Bey is also like a solid bench piece. Maybe like if they're, he's also flippable. I don't think his contract's that bad, but you know, you're just adding assets and you're adding guys maybe that make your team that make your team better. You know, high potential guy in Jordan Poole. So we'll see on
I
that.
don't like it for New Orleans. I think I'm not a big Jordan Poole fan. The contract's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
I
tough,
just
but
think it's kind of a directionless like shake up move for them when they really need to like tear it down badly.
yeah. How long is let's see, how long is Jordan Poole's
They've had
contract?
Dude, think about this. They've had fucking Zion like as long as they had Anthony Davis now. Like one by this time
Wow.
next year it'll be the
Yeah,
same.
that doesn't feel real. Poole has
Like
2 years left on his
that's
deal.
insane.
Is McCollum expiring after this year? I don't know. Yeah, he is. Yeah, so they could have got out of that, but I see why they did it because like they're probably not attracting a big name free agent. He's still only 26 too, which doesn't feel real as well. Like he feels older than that, but who knows? It's worth a shot in my opinion.
Wasn't he like a multi-year college player too? That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think he was 2 years at least. But yeah, so those are the trades that went down today. The trades that have gone down since the finals, which I didn't even realize you could be making trades during the finals, especially the Pacers making a trade during the finals. That's a crazy trade. I forgot about that one. The Pacers traded their with the Pelicans, like pick 20 whatever this year, and picked up their first rounder next year, right
The
before
Pelicans first?
No, the Pacers' own first round pick that the Pelicans had, the 2026 first, right before Halliburton got hurt. So the Pelicans
Yeah,
had their
the Pacers traded pick 29 for their own first next year.
yes, or it ended up being pick 23.
They're probably still gonna make the playoffs. They're just gonna fucking run Mathurin at point guard and they'll win like 43 games or some shit.
Yeah, but I thought that was crazy because like people were talking about like
Or no, they got
like
McConnell. Dude, they might win like fucking 50 games without Halliburton. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like
yeah, I mean
Halliburton's
maybe
good, but like I feel like they're still gonna be decent in the regular season. Like I don't think they'll win anything in the playoffs, but
yeah maybe Nemhard
like I
plays
feel like they're
point
gonna
or something
be
like that.
90% of the same team, and Halliburton's just like they put him over the top piece.
Yeah, I mean I think they're probably gonna lose like Miles Turner and stuff, but we'll
You
see.
think they're gonna lose Turner?
Yeah, I mean he's a free agent, right? He's
I just figured he would sign back. He's been there his whole career.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of Lakers rumors for him, but I feel like that's every year. Um,
I That makes sense because the Lakers like kind of need a little bit of shooting with LeBron, but I don't know. I feel like Luka needs a lob threat center.
yeah,
That's when they were really successful in Dallas.
we'll see. Um, Kind of rounding it off with the final NBA news that's happened today. Kyrie, I believe he opted out of his contract, and yeah, he declined his $43 million player option and is signing a 3-year, $119 million contract. So he's taking a slight pay cut, it seems. Yeah, he's getting a little less than 40 mil a year. So kind of a win-win move as Kyrie is obviously recovering from a torn ACL, and he's already how old's Kyrie? Kyrie's probably like 34, right?
Yeah, it's yeah
Yeah,
33, 34.
yeah, he's up there. Obviously, not an easy injury to recover from. Who knows if he comes back and is the same player? Let's
Yeah, it's
see.
good security for Kyrie, and then
He's
I
33.
mean Nico kind of has to go all in on this fucking thing, or he's gonna lose his job. So
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Flag, Kyrie, Anthony Davis. It's going to be a very good team. They just re-signed. They signed Gafford to an extension also.
if
They
Davis
get,
is actually healthy, they could win. Then
yeah,
Kyrie obviously, but
I
like
mean,
I feel like Davis is the big question. Kyrie just like happens to be hurt right now.
yeah, the West
Even
is
though
tough.
Kyrie's always hurt, he like kind of always comes back the same.
Yeah, let's see. He's very. I mean, torn ACL's tough at 33, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's kind of the major NBA news that's gone down recently. Obviously, the draft is tomorrow night, so we are going to go through a mock together. We're gonna pick. We're gonna discuss each pick, kind of come to a consensus, and then we're gonna go through the whole first round. So I'll pull it up now. All right. So we can start it off right away. I feel like first pick obvious. Cooper Flag is going 1-1 to the Mavs. That would be pretty shocking if he didn't go. Think you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you could just put the first two in.
Yeah, we're gonna go Flag. Harper is. I think those first two are locked up. I think like unless like a crazy Giannis trade goes down right before the draft, which I don't see happening. Dylan Harper is going to be a Spur. I think there's no debate about that. I think they're going to run, unless they go after Jaylen Brown, maybe like Stephon Castle's on the block. I think they're probably going to go into next season running a 3-guard lineup with Harper, Castle, and Fox, along with Wemby. I would like to see them add a, like, I know like we made TikToks about Jared Jackson going there, which I think would be really cool, but we'll see what happens. I think they also have the 14th pick, which they could add another pretty talented rookie, I feel like. So we'll see what happens. But I think those two are pretty locked up. And going to three, kind of touched on it earlier when talking about the Sixers. So I think this is either Edgecombe or a trade down. But I think they're probably gonna be locked in on Edgecombe.
Yeah, if they keep the pick, I think it's Edgecombe, and I don't know if we're doing trades. So
I mean, we can if we want, but I think Edgecombe's probably. I think the first three are probably pretty locked up.
Bulls trading up to number one.
Yeah, Cooper Flag is a Chicago Bull. But
Josh
four is
Giddey in a second. They keep 12 in the trade.
fleeced. Nico fleeced again. Four is where it
Pick
gets.
four is pretty interesting though.
I have a take. I want to hear what you think about it first, though. Let's see if we agree on it, because I do have a player in mind that I think makes a lot of sense.
The guy I want is not on the current list on the
Okay, I
screen.
think we're thinking the same guy.
Yeah, I think it's Khan. I've been seeing
Yep.
this a lot, and like
Hmm.
I like it. Just put shooting around Lamelo. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think it gives them a winning player who's like gonna try his ass off. He's gonna get to the paint. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's providing you shooting, effort. He can handle the ball if he needs to,
I
but
feel
he's
like he's
just
the only option here, unless they wanted like Malawak, right? Like you cannot
yeah
put Ace Bailey, Miles
next to Brandon
Bridges,
Miller.
Brandon Miller on the
Yeah,
same fucking team. Like
yeah,
that's the worst locker room, worst defense efficiency lineup in the entire fucking NBA history.
I
Like
agree. I mean, like this could maybe be a potential trade down spot if like Brooklyn or the Wizards wanted to come up to snipe. I don't know, maybe Trey Johnson. Maybe they are scared Fears is gonna go, but yeah, I think Khan is the pick here. I think it provides them something they don't have and just like a winning style of basketball. So I like that pick for Charlotte there.
yeah, me too.
So the Jazz here at 5. I personally think this is going to be Trey Johnson. I think we're going to see Ace slip a little bit. I don't know. The pre-draft process has kind of been weird for him. He's been turning down a lot of interviews, turning down workouts. It seems like he's asking for a lot, and I just I think Trey Johnson's like not that much worse than him.
I think it could be Johnson or Fears here. I don't think it would be Bailey. So yeah, if you want Johnson, I'm good with that because I think it would be one of the guards.
Yeah, I mean, I think it provides them a lot. Like,
I think the Jazz are just looking for a main guy, honestly.
yeah,
And I don't know if these guys really have the upside to be a number one, but like I think they could fill the role in the meantime for him for sure.
yeah. Like when I think Trey Johnson in Utah, I think like Donovan Mitchell in Utah. So could see it. Don't know if he's. I mean, he's probably one of the better scorers on the draft. So we'll see. But I like Trey Johnson in Utah at 5 there. 6 also gets interesting. I think this is a potential Ace Bailey spot, but I also really like Jeremiah Fears here. What do you think?
I mean, I like the Malawak fit a lot with him next to Sar, but I feel like that buzz has kind of cooled off, and it probably won't happen. So I'd probably go Fears because like I feel like Bub Carrington at point guard isn't gonna work out too well for them.
I like it. I like Fears. I think Yakachonis is getting a little slept on a little bit. I think him and Fears are probably a lot closer than people have been giving him credit. And I'm a big Fears guy, but I watched Yakachonis before he had his forearm injury at Illinois. He was definitely playing better basketball than Jeremiah Fears. He was a top 5 consensus mocked pick, so that's another guy I think might go higher than we think on draft tomorrow night. But yeah, going to New Orleans here.
Kind of like one of the bigs here. Maybe
Yeah,
Derek Green, because I feel like that, like if he could like play up top at the like free throw line, it's a little more space for Giannis to work on low.
Zion.
Or yeah, Giannis. Yeah, Zion. Backdoor lobs, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing that in my head. But yeah, I think Queen or Malawak here. I don't really. I want to drag Bailey to Brooklyn because I think that's what's gonna happen on draft day. It's just like it gets harder every pick to not take
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Especially here, because like I mean, they do have Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones.
I also
So
did just trade Ace Bailey away at the fucking trade deadline in Toronto. So
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, yeah. I see the queen. Yeah, I see the queen. I can see it. I like the way you described it. I like that fit. And then yeah, Ace Bailey here in Brooklyn. They need a star. And he's got a high upside,
He's gonna
especially.
give him a mean 19 points a game on 38% shooting.
um,
Him and Cam Thomas, dude, that's gonna be some of the best,
that's gonna be
like
gross.
most TikTok clip fucking bad basket. Like they're gonna win 15 games, but they're both gonna average 20 points on 30%.
All right,
Like
going to
tough shot
Toronto.
makers.
Yeah, exactly. From like Cam from like 35 feet out, and then Ace Bailey hitting like a fadeaway over two guys. Uh, this is where I think Malawak goes here at 9. I think this is
Yeah, I
probably
don't
his
think he could
floor.
really fall farther because like
Yeah,
there's a tier drop off after this pick. I feel like.
yeah. I think it makes sense. I feel like they need a center. I feel like if he doesn't go here, he's absolutely going at 10. Um, but we'll see. I think I'm big on Malawak. I think he should be a top 5 pick. I think he's a top 5 talent in the draft for sure. I think he's got some range to him. I think he has a nice stroke on his jump shot.
Yeah, I think he would be my fifth guy too, because I would have the top four that we took and then him.
Hmm.
I'm not big on Ace Bailey. Don't really love either of the guards. Admittedly, haven't watched a ton of them, but like neither of them jumped off the screen for me. And
Yeah,
then I would prefer Mallow to Queen as well.
yeah, I could see that. So 10 here.
Yeah, I think 10 would be Sorber. I feel like Phoenix just has to take the best center.
Yeah, or Newell maybe. Yeah, but I think they need a traditional center, so I'll go Sorber. That makes sense to me. Him being a top 10 pick is disgusting though. Like I think that's absolutely not. But I see.
Portland, I'd say Portland's in a position to take one of the three wings here, like Bryant. Well, Murray Broyle seems like more of a big, it seems, but
This is Murray Boyles is the biggest Julius Randle clone I've ever seen in my life. Like he plays
um,
exactly like
but yeah,
him.
one of those three. I'd say no to Kasparis or Newell, but like maybe a Sungay or
Yeah,
Bryant.
I like. See, if Malwag's gone, I like Asenge there. Like I think that makes a lot of sense for some reason. Like it just pops. Like and like I've seen the interviews of him where he's like, yeah, I play like Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Kawhi. Like it just like screams, like take me Toronto. But um, I personally think Murray Boyles makes most sense here. I feel like they need a 4. I feel like Tumani Kamara. Like I feel like they have some decent upside players at the 3. So I think a 4 makes sense here. I think Murray Boyles kind
I
of has
forgot
some.
about Denny in Portland too.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like decent now.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, I feel like a wing is most needed, so I'm okay with either of the three. Whoever you lean towards. Murray Bros is fine. Boyles. I always say it
um,
with an R.
Bulls here 12. The board is weird because I think like
I feel like the
kind
Bulls would
of
also just take one of the wings here.
think I feel like because I feel like someone's getting traded. Like I feel like Vooch is probably gone. Kobe White might be gone. Patrick Williams might be gone if they can find a deal for him.
I
Lonzo's
just
probably
like I
gone.
think they could take anything but a point guard, but it just makes the most sense to take one of Bryant or a Sungay here.
Yeah, I think Asenge. I think they're in a position where they
I'd love
need.
for them not to have too many guards, so we could just take Walter Clayton right now. But we got probably
Hate
we
Jokic
got a
Jones.
couple picks. Walter Clayton might slip, dude, because there's like we got some like I don't think he's going to any of these teams on the
Yeah,
board
no.
right now until
I think he's.
15.
I think he's probably like an early 20s pick. Like I could see the Heat
Memphis
taking
could
him.
use him with Bane gone. Minnesota, no, because they have Rob filling the same role. Washington
Um,
could double up at 18 or whatever. Fears and Clayton. That's nice.
maybe I'll go with Senge here because I haven't seen anything about Bryant. I've seen more about a Senge when looking at like rumors and stuff. So I'll go with Senge here. Even though I do think Behringer there. I've seen a lot of steam picking up for him to the Bulls. So I just want to throw that out there. So Hawks here at 13. I think this probably Carter Bryant maybe.
I could I could see them going with a guard to lead the second unit with this pick, either Kasparis or Jace Richardson or Clayton.
I'll go Jokic Jonas. I could see that.
Yeah, I think a guard to lead because they have kind of a complete starting lineup right now, and even like a six man. Really, they're kind of six deep.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think a backup point guard makes a lot of sense,
Okay. 14 with the
especially like
Spurs.
someone like him, because he's like Trey's like little and like a
Yeah.
shooter, and he's more of like a distributor, and he's like
Playmaker,
six
yeah.
six.
So 14 here for the Spurs. I'm pretty convinced this is gonna be Cedric Coward.
Dude, I saw
Um,
some TikTok about this guy was buying basketball cards, and some dude told him that Cedric Coward is gonna be the guy and not Cooper Flag in the
I'm
class.
bro,
And
Cedric,
then
he is good. I'm telling
and
you,
then there was
like,
another TikTok saying that there's like some physical marker, like 7'2" wingspan at some
uh,
size, and he meets it. So I guess he's
he's a beast, and he's got a nice jumper too. Like, I'm telling you, he should be a top 8 pick in this draft. Like, he should be flying up boards. I'm not
yeah,
surprised
he
he
will
stayed in the
be.
draft, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm like pretty confident that he's going to be a Spur if he's at this pick.
All right, let's do it.
15. Okay, see, I think Carter Bryant makes a lot of
Yeah, you can
sense.
take whoever you want because I don't know, like they don't need anything, so they're just gonna take whoever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they're probably just gonna go. Like, I think Austin Duel makes a lot of sense
Are
here
they
too.
losing anyone? Like, is there someone that's leaving where it's like, okay, maybe this
Cause
makes
like,
more sense?
are they gonna be able to like afford Lou Dort's contract coming up? Because then like I feel like Carter Bryant makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where you go with that? Ludort's making too much money. There's no way they're gonna keep him.
Okay, Memphis here, they need scoring, playmaking guard.
I feel like Jace Richardson makes sense. He's just like small to play next to Ja. But, like
I
Bane was
just
kind of
I feel like Jace is gonna fall a lot because he's 6'. He's just too small.
there's just not maybe Neat Clifford here.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, Minnesota. I think Austin Newell makes a lot of sense. I think Igor Denham makes sense.
I feel like Minnesota needs a big like in the pipeline. Like Naz Reid might be leaving. Randall's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
How long
Okay.
is Gobert gonna be around?
Yeah. I can run Austin Newell then. I can run with that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. Wizards here. Who do we have them taking? Fears. Okay, so they already have a point guard here. They need upside. They just need upside picks. I don't mind Will Riley. I feel like the international guys have to be coming off the board though. I don't mind Penda. Hugh Gonzalez I like a lot. Might be too high for him. Um, I kind of like Behringer. I feel like he's ranked too low on this site, and I feel like he's a high upside guy that could run next to Sar.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go there. Brooklyn,
I think I want to go Clayton
not
or maybe
Miami.
Cam Jones. I don't. I feel like a point guard makes sense for them, but I don't like Yegor Demon. But that I don't know. Maybe he would make the most sense, but
I could
maybe
see.
Traore. But I think that'd be pretty fun if they just went for like the two best scorers in theory in the
Who do we
class.
have? The Bailey. Okay. Yeah, I can run with Clayton. I think whoever doesn't get picked here though gets picked next. So I think Dedham probably goes here, right? I mean, I don't think they're gonna take like McNeely. I don't think they're gonna take Cam Jones. Maybe Penda. Maybe Will Riley.
Yeah, Miami would probably need a point guard. Could see Cam Jones, but they kind of like they're like Euro point guards too.
Okay, let's go Demon then. Jazz here. We had them taking
Liam
Trey, right?
McNeely makes a lot of sense.
White boys unite.
They're kicking
Huh.
themselves. Khan didn't make it. It's gonna be all white guys and fucking AJ DeBansa in 2027. What?
Just like how he's played his whole life. You know what? I mean, like, I don't think it.
Get Out too, and it's the fucking Utah Jazz with AJ DeBansa.
I don't mind Penda here.
I'm fine with it.
All right. I think this is
Brooklyn
Will
again.
Riley. I feel like this is Will Riley. Like, I feel like high upside wing scoring potential. Like, I feel like it makes sense. I feel like he's gonna end up in Brooklyn with one of those picks. Okay, New Orleans, we had them taking Derek Queen. I mean, I could see Jace here. I could see Traore here. Either one of those I'm fine with. Traore, Jace, whichever one you think makes sense.
Mm, go Jace, because I feel like it's a bench piece, and he's probably
Yeah.
better suited for that role.
Probably I could see him being like Lou Will. Like a lefty Lou Will. I could see
Yeah,
that.
like a smaller scoring guard.
hmm
Shit.
Alright, OKC. I could totally see them taking like Kalkbrenner or Danny Wolf. I
Yeah,
kind of
OKC
want
loves their white guys, or white appearing guys, to be inclusive to Hartenstein, so
to.
whatever.
I kind of like Danny Wolf more. I think he's very versatile. Let's go with that. That's so high for Danny Wolf. All right.
Orlando. I like Cam Jones to Orlando, kind of.
Okay. I
Keep
can see
adding
it.
good guards.
Or McNeely, I could see, but I'll take Cam Jones. I like that. All right. So we're just gonna go. I mean, I think Traore. It's hard to see him falling this far. So I think I mean, I know that we already have him taking Clayton, but I think just high upside. You go for it
Yeah,
here.
Brooklyn's not in a position to be like, oh, we have a point guard. They don't
Yeah.
really have anybody.
And then 27 here again for Brooklyn. I
We
think
haven't
Drake
had him take the
Powell.
center, so like,
Yeah, I mean, I think Drake Powell makes sense too, like a wing
you
with
go
high
with it.
potential. But I mean,
I
yeah,
like they have another pick too. Maybe not. No.
where's he at? Drake Powell. Okay. All right. I could see this being Kalkbrenner.
I can see this being Kalkbrenner or McNeely. The Celtics are always taking a random white guy at the end
Uh,
of the first round.
I like McNeely. I forgot he's still on the board here. Yeah, let's go for it. McNeely here.
Suns have another first somehow.
Not very. Oh, this guy's huge. Holy
I
shit.
don't think doubling up on bigs would be a bad idea. This could be a Kalkbrenner spot too. He just seems like a second round pick though.
Yeah, maybe a Hugo Gonzalez. I like him. I like his potential. Let's look down the board a little bit. Mark Sears. I don't see him being a first round pick. Oof. Kobe Brea. I like that. They kind of
I'll
need a
give them
point
this.
guard. Saraf maybe.
I feel like they're pretty covered there between Booker and Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they
I'll
don't.
just defer on
Maybe
this one.
maybe Fleming. Yeah, let's go Fleming. They need a 4. Okay, they can play some defense. All right. Clippers rounding it out first round.
Dude, like we should, if we had this podcast last year, like this is where you throw in Bronny for the clickbait. Can't wait till we can put Bryce James first round in the fucking title next year.
Imagine if he goes fucking pro after 1 year, that would be insane. Okay, I'm thinking Clippers here. I'm thinking Gonzalez or Watkins. I can see Chaz Lanier. I just don't think he's an NBA first round pick. But I think Watkins offers some size, some shooting, defensive potential.
Yeah, we're at the point where I like don't know these guys anymore besides Kalkbrenner, so you could take whoever you want.
It's just like,
I know like Kalkbrenner, Janai Broom, Sion James, Mark Sears, Sierra, but like a lot of these guys, I have no fucking idea.
all right, I'll go. It kills me not to have Hugo Gonzalez in the first round because I'm really big on him, but I think Jameer Watkins makes sense there. Yeah, but that's our first round. Here's the results here. Let's see how we do tomorrow night. Let's see. I didn't like Traore falling as much as we had him. I didn't like Demon falling as to 20. I think he'll probably go like right after the lottery, but I think Carter Bryant probably goes higher than 15, but I do think this is pretty solid. Obviously, no trades in this one.
Yeah, like Brooklyn is not making 5 first round picks.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try and look to move up, especially if they want Ace. It's
Move
tough to
up or
see.
just move them for future picks or swaps or
Yeah,
something. You can
yeah.
later on.
For sure. But, all right, that's all we got for today. So, let's see how we do tomorrow night on this draft, this mock draft. Kind of compare it. We'll post this on the Twitter so everyone can see, but gonna continue posting on TikTok. Gonna try and be more active on Twitter. But yeah, that's it, guys. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.